above the fall. See the silver lining, standing tall through it all. We turn the tables, lemons to lemonade. Host of our own show, the light won't fade. With every challenge, we rise above the fall. See the silver lining, standing tall through it all. We turn the tables, lemons to lemonade. Host of our own show, the light won't fade. We turn the tables.
Good evening. Welcome to my third episode of Turning the Tables with Inez Knows. Thank you for joining us this evening. Thanks for joining us this evening for my third episode. Our topic today is going to be on laughter is good medicine. So, first of all, I want to just share a few housekeeping rules. If you're joining us, well, you've got to be joining us on YouTube. So, if you'd like to have join the conversation, join the discussion, and ask a question or share a comment, go ahead and do so in the chat. If you put the letter Q in front of your question, we'll try to get to your question during the show. And yeah, so that's the first part. The next thing is I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. And up until midnight tonight, I am doing a drawing for a free pair of tickets to the Oxnard Jazz Festival. For those who subscribe to my page, you will be entered into a drawing for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Oxnard Jazz Festival, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. So hit subscribe. Thank you. Just a couple of things about me in case you didn't know me. My name is Inez, and I like sharing information, useful, good information. I love sharing information about events, good products, and I love helping local businesses and entrepreneurs get the word out about what it is that they're doing. So that is pretty much what this is about. It's what I do. I love sharing good, positive information. So I have a few guests on today, and I would like to go ahead and introduce you to the first one. So my first guest is comedian Denise Carter.
Hello.
Hi. There she
Hi, how
is.
are you?
Okay, I'm doing great. How are you? So thanks for joining me today. I just want to share a little bit about Denise. So Denise is a comedian here in the 805. That's Ventura and Santa Barbara counties, if you're not familiar with that. So Denise is a local comedian. She is a friend. She hosts things. She is just a wonderful part of our community. But personally, Denise is like that big sister auntie who's always encouraging you and pushing you right along. So not only is she hilarious, but she's very positive and encouraging and just always spreading love. And I appreciate her for that. So this is Denise. Welcome.
Hello, and thank you so much. I love to be the
Denise, would
auntie
you like
sister.
you are the auntie sister. Would you like to share a little bit about yourself with our guests, our
Absolutely.
friends?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. First of all, Inez knows, I know Inez knows because she knows everything. And I love that about her. So thank you for having me. I'm so grateful. A little bit about me. I was born in Port Hueneme, raised in Colonia, and then to Oxnard, which is part of Oxnard, Colonia is. And I am one of 8 children. And I'm excited to be in this community. I've got 2 children. I've been married for 24 years, and I have 3 grandchildren, and I'm grateful for all of the family that I have here. And every last one of us have great big smiles, and I'm grateful that my teeth look amazing.
Hey, welcome, Denise. All right. So, my second guest is Mr. Nile Evans. Welcome, Nile.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are
I
you?
like that
So, just to,
applause. I'll take it.
there you go. So, I'm going to share a little bit about how I know Nile or what I know of Nile. So, Nile is a friend. He is a writer. He's a producer. He's very humble at that. But he's also very hilarious, but being who he is, he has a very big, generous heart, I must say. So, just real quick, Niall not only produces different shows, and I hope he'll share a little bit about what he does, and he writes. He's brilliant, but he's done things for our community to share things like trying to help build wealth and stuff about Bitcoin and crypto and trying to encourage regular people to come out of poverty and do things. He's always spreading tips, and he'll say we don't listen, but he's always spreading tips. And the other thing is, I mean, there's a lot of good things I could say about him, but he taught me how to shoot a gun. So I took gun lessons with Niall and and got my license through him. So those are a few fun facts about Niall. Welcome, Niall. Do you want to just share a couple of things about yourself?
Thanks. Yeah, no, thank you for having me today. I think what you're doing is great with this. But yeah, my name is Nile Evans. I'm the executive producer, showrunner of a show called Wild 'N Out. Maybe a few of you have seen it. It's been on for almost 20 years, and I do Celebrity Squares and working on another few things. And I'm a writer, producer, um, and I'm LA native, born and raised in LA. Lived in the Bay for a little while, but LA is my home. And yeah, like I said, I'm a guy who likes to give a little knowledge from time to time if I can, and like a lot of the things that I didn't learn um, growing up, I'd like to put out there for people, whether they like to, take the knowledge or not. I think I've made some pretty good decisions in my life. And so sometimes I come from a place of advice, and basically, you should do what I tell you to do, and then you can become rich. That's basically it. And I'm a
That's
pistol
it.
instructor.
Just
Yes.
that simple. Yeah. So he has many trades. The other thing I want to say, and Niall probably doesn't know this, but when I was going through a very tough time, battling depression like 11 years ago, one of the things I had to do, and one of the reasons why it's one of the reasons for this show, Laughter is Good Medicine, because when I was going through that, it was about getting rid of stressors and things that cause me angst and doing things that bring me joy. And when I needed to laugh, honestly, I would go onto your page and go see what you were saying, because I'm like, I know he's got something funny to say. And so you really helped me through that time, and you didn't even have an idea, but there were like 3 people I knew. If I went to your page or I did this, I was going to laugh by going on there. So thank you.
Oh, that makes me happy to hear. Thank you. I hope somebody's laughing out there. I try to make it funny. I try to post at least one funny thing a day if I can.
Oh, it's funny, especially your stories. Okay, so now I would like to introduce, thanks for coming, Niall. I'd like to introduce my third guest, Dr. Kimberly McCowan. Welcome, Dr. K. I think are you muted, or am I getting you?
Okay, I was
No
muted.
worries.
I'm sorry.
It's
I was
okay.
saying, hello, Inez. How are you? Thank you for having
Hello,
me
Dr.
tonight. So excited to be a
Thank
part of your panel tonight and turning the tables.
Thank you for joining us, Dr. K. So, to share a little bit about Dr. K, I feel like I've known her for a long time. I don't even know how many years, but Dr. K is. I said in my post that she is an amazing teacher. She's an anointed teacher. She works in the medical field. She's an expert. I will say that she is also one of the pastors at my church, and because she's always giving us information on health. Hey, what's up, brother? Looking at the YouTube chats. So, I know that by listening to her teachings and a lot of things she has shared with us, it has contributed to my own personal health. And so I thought that she would be a perfect person to come in and share. But I've known her for a long time. She is supportive. She prays. She supports women. She supports people, but she knows her stuff when it comes to the medical field. So welcome to our expert. If you want to give us a couple, share a little bit about yourself briefly.
Okay, thank you again, Inez. And yes, I am passionate about health. I'm passionate about promoting health. I want to see people healthy. I do it for not just as a job or career, but I do it as part of my lifestyle. I live health. So I'm excited to be sharing tonight on how important it is for laughter. I love the topic that you have, Inez, that laughter is the best medicine. And I can't wait to get into this and start sharing some of the nuggets that that I have to share tonight on how laughter can actually keep you healthy physically. When they talk about laughter being the best medicine, laughter can actually keep you healthy. And let me tell you, I'm already laughing because when Denise said she loves the way her teeth look, so again, I'm excited again about being on tonight. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So we're going to go ahead and bring everybody on. I'm going to share a little bit, and we can start this discussion. I'm really excited. You guys are really awesome, and I'm just thankful for this time that we're having together. So one of the reasons why I wanted to go ahead and bring up laughter now, being good medicine, is because I don't want to just say the climate of the world. It seems like there's a lot of people experiencing a lot of difficult things in life. There's a lot of people experiencing a lot of loss and grief or just challenging times, post COVID, or maybe not even having to do with that. So I wanted to bring on something positive, of course, right? Positivity is actually my number one strength when it comes to, if you've ever heard of Clifton Strengths, but that's my number one strength. It's pretty natural for me. So I wanted to bring on something positive that would be able to help people. And so you guys are my experts because I know that you can make people laugh. I know that you know what to do to help people get healthy. So
That's right.
let's go ahead and spread some light and love out here and, let's help the people. So, first of all, I would just like to know, and Denise, you're already like laughing and making us laugh. Like, so,
Well, it's
Denise, can you,
funny. Go ahead. Yes, I can. I was just going to say
you
it's funny
say it's
sometimes
funny?
that it's either laugh or frown. Laughter looks so much better, right? Like you look better if you're laughing versus frowning. That's what I feel.
Oh, I like that. True. And I think
But
there's
you have to
actually like,
remember, there's literally eight. I have 7 siblings, and we all are all about trying to talk over each other, but most of the time we're laughing about something, trying to get it out. And so that's what it is for me. There's times in my life where we didn't all agree, and that's where my story comes in. My father was a very hard worker. He was from Mississippi, and he was very jovial. He worked in the restaurant industry, he did catering, and he taught us about hard work pays off. If you work hard, you live good and you'll survive, and that's the way the world works. And I think we tried to emulate the things that he had given us as we were growing up. And one day he was diagnosed with cancer, and my siblings
Wow.
did not agree. We argued about everything, and it was one of those things where I would take every Saturday. I would get his wife a massage, manicures, pedicures, and send her off, and I'd sit with him. And I'd bring newspapers because I was really trying to be creative in my own field of work, and I worked in home care. And one day I looked at an ad and it said, become a comedian in 6 weeks, $350. And he was laying in his hospital bed in the living room. And I said, Dad, I should take this class and talk about your kids. He said, you should do it. And that's where it was for me when instead of arguing with them, I just started writing down little stupid things that they were saying that didn't make sense. And what my brother is a PhD and he's smart. He was just the smartest, dumbest person I ever met during that time because he didn't agree with my father's decision, which was to go on a journey of hospice. And he was really trying to make him eat when he wasn't hungry. And that's the part I didn't understand. I said, he says he's not hungry. My dad doesn't need any medicine. And I was like, oh my God, he's in pain. So we went through this thing and we laughed about it because when my brother finally took a couple of days to off and he finally agreed that my father was okay, my father said, he said, Dad, I'm gonna be okay. And my brother went on vacation. My father died that night. And literally he gave him permission to let go. And what I realize is as we all have to heal through the process of the journey, I got through it with the laughter, and I take the laughter of his legacy, which was, Denise, do me a favor, tell that story to so and so. And he would tell me all these different stories, but they were funny. And he would always tell everybody, tell that to Denise, that's funny. And before he died, he was able to see my first 5 minutes after I graduated for a comedy class at Ventura Harbor Comedy Club. And I was grateful because that is something I will always carry with me for the rest of my life. And no matter what, I find laughter through the pain of all the things that we go through when it comes to just life, whether it's your kids or your siblings. Even with my mom found laughter, and she was married to him and he had 3 other wives. Eventually they got divorced, but I'm just saying we got through it because we laughed through it. And so that's where the medicine is for me. And that is the best medicine you can ever give someone, is the medicine of laughter.
Wow. What that's a powerful story, an amazing story, your start that you got. I really believe that you guys carry a gift when you can bring somebody else joy and laughter, but especially when it's a tough time. Somebody said, okay, wow, that's so loving. It is very loving. It's a gift. It's absolutely a gift that you guys are blessed with. Like it's in your makeup. So I love music, but laughter is the next best thing. Like I love stand up, and if you want to be intentional about trying to make yourself happy, go find something funny or go find a good comedian to go watch because it'll have you feeling good even if you're having a bad day, or a funny show like Wild and Out, right? So Nile, that brings me to you.
Okay.
How did you end up on this journey or on this path or writing funny things, or have you always had a sense of humor? Share a little bit about yourself. And
Um, when I was younger, I'll just say in high school, my uncle was one of the writers of Martin, and so when his name was Bentley Kyle Evans, and my aunt, she was a writer too. She wrote on The Parkers and many other shows. So I kind of was around it, and um, you know, I, my uncle's not that much older than me, so I really looked at him like my big brother. So when I saw him doing that, I was always inquiring about like, hey, so what is that all about? What's that? And hey, send me a script. I want to see what that looks like. And I love the Martin Show and all the shows of that era. And so
oh,
I just decided I wanted to be in this business. And so I started writing, and when I went to college, and I dropped out of college and came back down to LA and started, working on the Jamie Foxx show that he created. And so, working on the Jamie Foxx show, um, I met Nick Cannon, and we kind of formed a relationship. And later on down the line, I started working with him a little bit more, and And then he said, "Hey, man, I got this opportunity. I want to create this TV show called Wild 'N Out." And we were working together at the time, and I was like, "Oh man, I thought we were going to do something different." But he was like, "Nah, this is the thing we're going to do." And I said, "All right." And so we got together and got all our friends together, and he put up the money, and we shot a pilot, sent it to MTV, and that was in 2004 when we did that. So that was 20 years ago, and they picked it up for 8 episodes, and we've been rocking for a long time, and it's the best job anyone can ever have, working in comedy, because you're laughing all day. I told my son, I said, "Listen, when I go to work, it's not like going to work. I'm not throwing boxes at FedEx. I'm laughing, and somebody's going to get me lunch. Like, it's pretty good." And then at the end of the day, you go. I remember the first season of Wild 'N Out, and we were working on some games and stuff, and the lady comes by and she goes, "Oh, here," and she hands me an envelope, and I forgot we were getting paid. And
Oh,
Wow.
I was
wow.
having so much fun. I was like, "Yo, this is crazy. They give us money for this? Like, this is just, it was nuts to me." And so I was like, "This is what I want to do, is I want to stay in this thing." And I worked my way up from associate producer to the showrunner of the show, and we have a good time, and we're still going. And I moved over to Celebrity Squares to do that with one of the stars of our show, DC Young Fly, and we have a good time. And I think that laughter is important for everything. And I don't know if I had a regular job, I just don't know how I would be. But because I'm fortunate enough to laugh through my day every single day, it's just the biggest blessing for me. I would trade nothing for the job that I have, being able to just make laughter, make people laugh, and I get to laugh, and then they give us money. Like, that's crazy. Like, why would you not want to do that? That's like being, like getting a massage and then they pay you for the massage. You're like, what? Like, that doesn't even make sense. But like, they pay me to write jokes and tell jokes and hang out with my homeboys and my homegirls, and we're just doing funny and being silly, and they give us money. Come on, better stop playing.
Wow, that's amazing. You just made me think of something though, and this question can go to any of you guys. Um, what would you tell like a young person, or not even a young person, somebody trying to find their way into like the career that, and it might not be this type of career, but what kind of advice would you give somebody that's searching for that right thing to do?
My thought would be, Inez, I want to answer this because Niall made me think about it when he was talking about how he said that when he's doing his job, it doesn't feel like a job. He's like, I'm getting paid for it. And
Yeah.
my suggestion would be find something you love to do. I mentioned at the very beginning that I love what I do, taking care of patients. I love what I do. And I happen to get paid for it, and I should get paid for it because I work hard. But find what you love to do, because what you're wired to do and what your purpose to do, it doesn't it doesn't take energy from you, but you get energy when you're doing it. I get energy when I'm taking care of patients. And I'm sure the same with Niall, the same with Denise. When they're in their element, they're not fatigued. They get energy from being in their element. So find
Wow.
what you love to do and do it well.
That's what I was thinking when I heard Niall too. I'm like, he's actually doing something that he enjoys as a job. Like, wow.
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, you know, see, when I always tell people, in 2005 when we launched the show, YouTube just started. YouTube's first year was 2005. So we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have an opportunity that, like, podcasts didn't exist. And if I'm talking to a young person, I'm saying, hey, you can do this on your own with your phone and make more money than most people will do going to work every day. And you have the opportunity with YouTube, you have the opportunity with your phone and a laptop, just like Inez, what you're doing right here is amazing because this technology didn't exist, 20 years ago. So you just have to go do it. You got to start and you got to go jump in. And now there's all these different avenues and opportunities for you to get in. So utilize them. I tell people all the time who are sitting at home broke, I go, why are you at home broke when you can start a YouTube page and these people are making a whole bunch of money, but nobody wants to start? And I go, well, that's on you. But there's a lot of opportunity out here. Uber didn't exist then. Couldn't just get a job with your car, but start. I think everything is about starting and being
Right.
consistent.
That's great advice. That's really great advice. Um, so now I have a couple questions for Dr. K on the medical part. Dr. K, can you share with us how laughter affects our health, or why it is actually good medicine for us?
Well, I do. I want to rewind a little bit because you said that, life has become so stressful. Life, let me tell you what the researchers so the Gallup survey polls show that more people are stressed and sad today, and it's been the greatest over the last 3 decades. So we're seeing a lot more stress. And although Niall talked about the advances in technology giving opportunity to be able to, be entrepreneurs and anything you love, the technology allows that. There is a side to social media that I believe personally that has contributed to all this stress people are feeling. And I think that side is that there's sometimes with social media an overload of information. And when you get an overload of negative information, it adds to all this stress and worry people are feeling. And then you have this widespread trauma. And I think you mentioned this too from the pandemic. So, with all this stuff going on, this is where our society is today, with all this stuff going on, and I think society has just lost the art of laughter. That Niall mentioned, we had shows that you can turn on all the time. You see Jamie Foxx, Martin, like he mentioned, the Parkers. I remember Gomer Pyle. Remember that? This goes way back now. You probably weren't even born then, but do you guys remember Flip Wilson?
Yes.
Flip, I remember Flip
Ish,
Wilson and
yeah,
Carol. You remember those Carol Burnett? Those are
yeah.
probably all before your
Yes.
time. I'm aging myself, but I remember growing up and watching those shows, and we couldn't wait to get in front of the TV and the family get together and laugh. And I think that we've lost the art of laughter, and with the being lost, the society losing the art of laughter with all this negativity, it's contributed or it contributes to increased cortisol. When cortisol increases in the body, that's when you start seeing issues like hypertension, autoimmune disease, GI problems, diabetes, cardiovascular problems, sleep problems. I can go on. The list can go on. So, we just have lost that art of laughter. I mean, you can ask anybody, when was the last time you laughed? I mean, really, a gut wrenching laugh where tears are coming from your eyes. You can hardly, stand up, hardly breathe. When was the last time you laughed like that? And that type of laughter, as you mentioned, Inez, is really important because when you laugh like that type of laughter releases two hormones. The two hormones that type of laughter releases is serotonin and dopamine. Serotonin and dopamine, those are two hormones that are released when you smile, like we're smiling now, and then when you laugh. Now, why is that important? Because serotonin and dopamine are important hormones that lift the mood. And not only boost the mood, but it also helps the body. So listen, medicines like Wellbutrin and bupropion, Wellbutrin and bupropion. Do you know those are dopamine? Those medicines help dopamine. And remember, I said when you laugh, serotonin and dopamine are released. And we prescribe medicine, or I prescribe medicine, Wellbutrin and bupropion. Those are dopamine medications, dopamine-based medications. Serotonin release medications or medications that help with serotonin are Celexa, Lexapro, Prozac. Remember, Prozac was real popular in the very beginning when it first came out. It was a few years ago, well, a couple years ago. Prozac is one of those medications. Paxil, Zoloft, those are all medicines that release serotonin, and you can release those medicines naturally just with smile and laughter. Smiling and laughter. There's a verse of scripture in the Bible. I want to mention this, Inez. It's in Proverbs 17:22. It says, a cheerful or a happy heart is like good medicine. The reason why a happy or a cheerful heart is like good medicine is because when God created the body to release hormones when you laugh. And just like any manufacturer who makes an invention, they always give a manufacturer's manual with their invention. Well, when God created the physical body, I believe He gave us a manufacturer's manual to take care of the body. It's the Bible, and He gives us scriptures like laughter is like medicine. It's good medicine because when you laugh, you're releasing hormones to support health in the body. I can go on and on about this, Inez.
Definitely. No, that's really good because when you think about it, when you walk in gratitude or you have that gut wrenching laughter, like you don't have time to complain. You're not thinking about complaining. You're not worried about the things that weigh you down. You're just in this really good, light mood. But I think wow, the way that you explained the chemicals and how we even take medication to kind of replace those things when there are ways, and I'm not saying medication isn't needed because you guys know, like sometimes it is needed. Sometimes it's needed temporarily, sometimes it's needed for long term. But our body can naturally create those things if we're intentional and put ourselves in positions to make ourselves laugh. So we're in control of what we watch, what we listen to, who we hang around with, who we allow into our ears and into our sight. So we can choose to be around negative Nellies long term, or we can choose to be around things that make us laugh. And it's actually good for our health. So now you really got me excited. Let me,
You know, let
I'm
me
like
let
looking
me
at,
let me add to
go ahead.
that because the rest of that verse I read says that I gave you in Proverbs 17:22. It says a broken spirit. The rest of it is a broken spirit dries the bones, or it's like it's sap that takes away your strength. Well, let me tell you this, Inez. I don't know if you guys knew this, Niall and Denise, but when somebody has a broken spirit or somebody has been afflicted or traumatized, or like this past trauma we went through with the pandemic, this verse says it dries the bones. Now, I could go just about any angle with this, but let me tell you this: your mood affects your marrow. Your mood affects your bone marrow. Your mood affects your
Wow.
marrow. There was a study done that showed people that were happy and healthy in life, they had a higher bone density. And when you have a low bone density, that's when we start seeing osteoporosis and osteopenia. So laughter, it helps with bone density. And how does it help with bone density? Laughter actually helps the cells in the bone. And the cells in the bone, look at this. They're called lymphocytes. They're B cells and T cells. So when you laugh, so Denise, when you're doing something at levity, when you cause people to laugh, you're actually, when they're laughing, their lymphocytes, the lymphocytes in the bone marrow is increasing. And what are the lymphocytes? It's the B cells and the T cells. The B cells fight off bacteria. The T cells fight off viruses. And both of these together are made in the bone marrow. So that's why it
Wow.
says, this dry, sad spirit, it affects the bones. But when you're cheerful, it actually increases and it boosts your immune system because it helps the B cells and the T cells in the lymphocytes of the bone marrow. Isn't that awesome? How
That's
God
awesome.
created the bone when
It's
we
interesting.
laugh, it supports health.
I
You
never
guys are
knew that.
Love
literally
that.
helping people be healthy. Like I told you, it's crazy. I knew she was going to bring something that was going to open up our eyes, and it was going to be medically sound and scientifically true. So, wow, that's amazing. So, I'm going to I hope that I really appreciate you guys being on here. I have a couple of announcements and things I need to do, but this is my humble beginning. So I really hope that all of you guys will come back again and we can continue the conversation or do something more. Because I'm like, I don't think people know this, and I do believe that we can help uplift people's spirits and help their health by having these conversations. Knowledge is power. For lack of knowledge, my people perish. Like, we've got to get the information, and maybe people will be more intentional about going to a comedy club, knowing that that investment of that ticket and your time is actually going to help you be more healthy and lift your mood and bring all these better chemicals into your body. So, okay,
Maybe
well,
insurance will
I'm gonna get
start
off a
covering
little.
it.
It
I
should.
didn't hear what Niall said. What did he say? What did Niall
I
say?
said maybe insurance will start covering it. The cover charge to the comedy
Comedy
show.
club. That sounds
We
fantastic.
can get Medicaid to take care of that.
Do you remember Niall? Do you remember the movie Do you remember the movie Patch Adams?
Yes.
Yes.
The Patch Adams, that is a real doctor who was trying to start a hospital, and he was trying to change the medical system by starting a hospital that dealt with laughter. But guess what?
Yeah.
He wasn't funded because insurance companies won't cover it.
It's a cold game.
Wow.
It's a cold game.
They need to look into that. I mean, they pay for massages now. I mean, let's move in that direction.
Why not?
Okay, you guys, I've got to share a little bit of information. I'm going to come back to you guys at the end. We have a couple of upcoming events. This is so good, and I really thank you guys. So let me go on and share information about the Stash House. So Stash House Barbershop in Oxnard, I believe they're on Ventura Road. You're going to see a flyer. Yes, 1019 South Ventura Road. Tomorrow on Friday, they're having their Customer Appreciation Day. So get this, tomorrow, August 30th, $25 haircuts with free designs all day long. I mean, I haven't had to take a child or a son to get a haircut, but I know like $25 is the price I was paying when my grown sons were young. So they're going to be having $25 haircuts all day, free designs. And then 3 to 7 p.m., they'll be having music, drinks for people 21 and over, food, raffles, and giveaways to show appreciation to their awesome clients. So if you're in the area or you want to come into the area, it sounds like Stash House Barbershop is the place to be tomorrow, Friday, August 30th. Thank you. And then real quick, I want to remind you guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with the next episodes that we're doing and the guests that I'll be bringing on, topics we'll be discussing. So hit subscribe, because if you do it before midnight tonight, you will be entered in to win a free pair of tickets to the Oxnard Jazz Festival. So we have a commercial from the Oxnard Jazz Festival so you can see what that's for.
Southern California's original beach music festival returns. The 7th annual Oxnard Jazz Festival. Saturday and Sunday, September 14th and 15th. It's 2 days at the beach. Performing live on stage. It's After 7. After 7. The soulful sounds of Stokely. Stokely. From Mid Condition. Also starring Loose Ends featuring Jane Eugene. You got me hanging on. Enjoy the classic hits of Ambrosia. It's 2 full days of music by the beach. Also starring Mike Phillips and the incomparable Sheila E. The Oxnard Jazz Festival. Saturday and Sunday, September 14th and 15th. Where you can indulge in delicious food, beer, and wine. Starring After 7, Stokely, Loose Ends, Sheila E. with Mike Phillips, Ambrosia, Mindy Hebert, Peter White with Louis Cruz Beltran, and more. Get your tickets now at OxnardJazzFestival.com. OxnardJazzFestival.com.
Woohoo, that's exciting. Look at all those artists coming out to Oxnard. Another thing about the Oxnard Jazz Festival, they are currently doing a Labor Day sale. So if you go on to www.oxnardjazzfestival.com, lawn seating is 50% off up until Monday, Labor Day. So you can go on there. You don't need a special code. Just go on and purchase your tickets. They are general admission Lawn tickets are 50% off on Saturday and Sunday. And don't forget to hit subscribe. The tickets that I have that I will be doing the raffle for, I'm all shaking it. They're for the Saturday show. So Saturday is Loose Ends, Mindy Abar, Lynn Roundtree, Stokely, Vincent Ingala, Peter White, Mike Phillips, Ambrosia, Marcus Anderson, and Julian Bond. So don't forget, subscribe to my channel. And then also don't forget to check out the Labor Day sale. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up and bring everybody back on. And we're going to hear from our guests for a couple of minutes. So Denise, do you have any, would you like to share with us any upcoming events you have, anything you have going on, or let our friends know how they can get in touch with you or stay in contact with you?
Yes, absolutely. I will be at Oxnard Levity Live in the Collection, River Park, October 12th. I'm opening up for Phil Medina. I will be at the Mic Drop in San Diego, September 27th. And you can reach me on comediandenise.com, all social media. What else do I got? Oh, I also have a podcast, Hanging Out with the Carters. It's a podcast where my husband and I just changed what would I like to say? The art of networking is lost with AI, right? Or with the technology. So what we're doing is we're really just trying to get to know our community a little bit better and talk about what fills the cup of some of the people in our community. So I'm grateful. Thank you, Inez. This has been amazing.
Thank you, Denise.
Subscribe to her. Subscribe to her.
Subscribe. Thank you. And Nile, would you like to share any closing remarks or let the people know how they could stay up to date with what you have going on?
Oh no, I had a great time. You can find me at Nile Evans on Facebook. I'm not really on X too much, but Instagram is probably where I'm at the most. I had a great time. I'm looking forward to another season of Wildin' Out. The tour's going out, so that's go get your tickets for the tour, and that's about it for me.
Okay. Thanks, Nile.
Thank you.
And then Dr. K, would you like to share any thing that you have upcoming or anything you have going on and let them know how they can keep in contact with you and all of the wisdom you share?
Well, I mentioned that God created the physical body, and He gave us a manufacturer's manual to take care of the body. And what I do is I take scriptures and I turn them into prescriptions. I look at scriptures through the lens of science. And I have 2 books out. My first book is called The Bible Body Connection. You can get that on Amazon. And then I have a second book out called Daily Scriptions, where actually inside of the book are, I put verses of scriptures in prescription pads. I put it on a little prescription pad, although we don't use those anymore. But I put them on little prescription pads, and then I explain why those instructions or how that scripture is tied to how God created the body, like we talked tonight. The scripture, Proverbs 17 that I mentioned, 22, laughter is the best medicine, how it's tied to the body. And my closing words are, if you're sick, find something to laugh at. And if you're not sick and you want to stay healthy, connect with somebody that can make you laugh. Inez, you mentioned just a few minutes ago, or at the beginning of the show, that Nile posts things that are funny. I got to go on and see what he's posting. And definitely with Denise being at Levity, if anybody's in the Ventura County area, they should be going support Denise at Levity and get healthy. And Inez, I want to say that you're doing an awesome job, and I am looking forward to seeing how your program is going to continue to grow and be global. Be global, have a global influence. So keep up the good work, and thank you so much for the invite and the opportunity to come on and just share how God created the body and how the body really responds to the scriptures as instructions for
Thank
health.
you. Thank you so much. I really
Uh,
appreciate that. I really appreciate all of you guys coming on. I want to say thank you for your time and your investment, for coming on to Turning the Tables with Inez Knows. Thank you for everybody who tuned in and who will be tuning in later. Share this with somebody, help educate somebody, and give them some motivation or inspire somebody that you know might need a boost, who might be having a hard time, who might need some help with their health. Like, I think this was quite informative, educational, and inspiring. Support local comics, comedians. I love going to stand up. So if you want to laugh, find something that makes you laugh. So thank you to my guests. Once again, thank you to Tallboy Productions. Check out Tallboy's show on YouTube. He has a show called The Lab Tech Show. So check that out. He gives all kinds of useful information, knowledge, and it's just really helpful for all of us because technology is all around us, and he explains it in a way that would help all of us, from shopping to AI to traveling to just everything. So check it out. Um, the last thing I want to say is, if you have any topics, if you have any guests, if you think you want to be a guest on my show, reach out to me. You can email me at inezknows@gmail.com. You can find me at my website, inezknows.com. And you can find me on all social media handles at inezknows. So, as always, I want to say, be kind to others, be kind to yourself. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Have a great night.
Thank you.
What happens in waves? We roll with the flow. Twist and turn we go. Find strength inside the lows. We turn the tables.